That was embarrassing. What's up, squad? It's early morning in this. Ready to get on that grind time. Uh, as you might saw, try to clean off my lens. Probably didn't change anything. I need a new one. Let's start a GoFundMe. Poor to survive. I need this webcam. I'm kidding. We're double fisting it, so we're gonna get into it. Let's go. So as you guys see, and probably why you clicked right down here, we're talking about SAQUON Barkley, that is. You've all heard about this rookie sensation. If you're a football fan, if not, I'll have some details to explain. So if you're not so familiar on Saquon, I'll get into it and why this guy's a beast. But we're gonna go into other things like the coaches on his staff. What was his stats in college? Who does he compare to? Who's being drafted before him or after him? We're just gonna get into that today. Info, you guys, on quite possibly the most hyped back out of college in NFL history. Holding it with my hand because I'm a man. Just kidding. I think it's weird to hold it like this, so I hold it like this. Little fun fact. So Saquon Barkley was the second overall pick to the New York Giants. This is the first pick under the Pat Shurmur regime. So Pat Shurmur was formerly the offensive coordinator of my Vikings, but he's bounced around the league quite a bit. So his first opening to coaching success, I suppose success, was he was the head coach of the 2011-2012 Browns. It didn't go so well. He finished 9-23 as the Browns head coach, but as we see right now, that's actually pretty solid. I mean, think Hugh Jackson. What does he has one win in the past 2.5 years? So we got to give him credit for what he did with that organization. And they really didn't have anything. They had Colt McCoy as their quarterback 1 year. I forget which the other one is, but Colt McCoy, the backup for the Redskins right now, what he did under that regime and what he had was actually pretty impressive. But he got kicked out of that after the 2012 season, and then he went back to the Eagles. He's been with the Eagles for a long time, but this is more recent stuff, so all that other old stuff is kind of irrelevant for us. So he's the offensive coordinator for the Eagles from 2013 to 2015, and then he was actually the interim head coach when Chip Kelly got the boot, but eventually got picked over by, as we know, Super Bowl champion head coach Doug Peterson. So after that happened, he was like, oh, freak, no. And then he decided to go to a different place. So he went to the Minnesota Vikings to become their tight ends coach. And I mean, that's kind of a downgrade, I guess, from O coordinator to a tight ends coach. But it actually turned out for him because in that 2016 season, Norv Turner was the offensive coordinator of the Vikings. And halfway through the season, he was like, yep, this ain't going well. I'm out. And then he dashed. So that left Pat Shurmur to assume his role. And it worked out pretty nice for him. He was there through the 2017 season, and he led I wouldn't say he led, but their offense was pretty lethal. In 2017, they went 13-3 and posted some great numbers. But ultimately, after the 2017 season, he was gone. He's ready to take the role of the 2018 New York Giants head coach. So Pat Shurmur is not the only coach that Saquon Barkley will be working with. Usually, even if the coach is offensive minded, he will have a lower down the chain offensive coordinator. In this situation, their offensive coordinator is Mike Shula. You've heard the name around a little bit. He's kind of been around the league for a long time. Did a little bit more in-depth searching on him. He was actually the Alabama head coach from 2003 to 2006. And this guy was trash. He went 10-23, and for Alabama, that's an embarrassment. So I'm surprised he even lasted that long, going 10-23, 3 years under that. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking, but guess who he got replaced with? The GOAT, Nick Saban. So he's kind of like a league quarterback guru. He's been all around the league with quarterback coach jobs and all the other roles that come with maybe developing quarterback into a star player, etc. with that role. As of late, he's been with the Carolina Panthers as the offensive coordinator. So he was there for their successful teams when they went 15-1, made it to the Super Bowl. So he was there for all of that. Following the 2017 playoff loss to New Orleans, he got the boot. They were tired of him. Something needed to change, so they sent him away. So Pat Sherman was there to swallow this man up. I don't know if directly he's going to affect Saquon Barkley, but this is an experienced offensive coordinator who maybe has some schemes for a successful running back. So every team has their offensive coordinators, a head coach, but every team also has the running back coach. And the New York Giants running back coach is Craig Johnson. Guy's dope. He looks dope. He's been in the league forever, and actually has been with the Giants for even longer than forever. Man's Jesus age. Ha ha. It's a joke. From 2014 until present, he's been the running back coach. Not much more I can go on him. He's just a running back coach. You can't say, oh, born in, blah, 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 blah. But that won't affect Saquon. So I'm going to have a couple charts for these guys. I looked up how successful are these running backs under these three coaches. I actually couldn't get them for Craig Johnson because the site I used didn't have as in-depth information as I would have wanted. But we did have information for Pat Shurmur and Mike Shula. So running backs under Pat Shurmur include Peyton Hillis, but this is the Peyton Hillis after his 2010 season, so we all thought he was going to be a beast, but then the Madden curse got him, and he was just a fade. I think he had almost 600 rushing yards, but as the chart you'll see, it was an abysmal year. He was below the average of everyone, and from then on, it was the fate of Peyton Hillis. But he also got the prime Trent Richardson. That 1 year in Cleveland where he went absolute beast mode, we thought he was going to be the next running back of the league. But that was only a 1 year stint until Shurmur got the boot. But either way, he was still a successful running back under Pat Shurmur. Then from 2013 to 2014, he had Shady LaShawn McCoy, my boy. And obviously, he put up some pretty solid numbers. You'll see on the chart, that's kind of like at the peak because one of the years he had like 1,600 yards, and that would have beat this year's rushing title. Obviously, that's good work. Then he got a kind of older DeMarco Murray. It wasn't successful in 2015. That's when Chip Kelly he lost his reins. So DeMarco Murray was sent out, same with Chip Kelly, and then they inherited essentially Ryan Matthews, which wasn't too successful either. Mike Shula is specifically a quarterback's coach, but he was the offensive coordinator in Carolina, and from 2014 to 2017, all he really had was Jonathan Stewart. 1 year he did have D'Angelo Williams, and 1 year he had Christian McCaffrey, and Christian McCaffrey was the only spike Mike Shula had, and that's obviously based off PPR. Christian McCaffrey wasn't much of a rusher, but he was a PPR beast, so that spike you see is the reason why McCaffrey's catching a bill. But Jonathan Stewart was the main productive back. And Jonathan Stewart really hasn't posted amazing numbers. He's been stagnant. There isn't any like up down. There's across the board. He's about the league average. So there's nothing really too impressive according to Mike Shula, but he's able to be successful with that. Carolina's been good for a decent amount of time. They've had a couple down years, but I'd say relatively over the past 4 years he was there. It was a successful run. So some of the running backs Craig Johnson has had, sorry, I won't really have a chart for this, but Craig Johnson has had Rashad Jennings in 2014 to 2016. So not really a big name back, and even worse, in 2017 he had Paul Perkins, so he's never really had like an amazing back to work with. That's my concern there, but maybe Saquon can really move Craig Johnson to the next level. Actually, in that span from 2014 to 2015, apparently Rashad Jennings was doing something right because they finished 10th and 8th place in the league for rushing. So they were a solid rushing team. But ever since then, they haven't been able to crack the top 20 in rush yards, rush attempts, everything like that. So they've been struggling as of late. So hopefully Saquon is able to provide that spark. Some of Pat Shurmur's running backs, like Trent Richardson, LaShawn McCoy, and some of Craig Johnson's success in 2014 and 2015, they don't really have a great history of running backs on this staff, and I think that's number one reason why they brought in Saquon Barkley. Barkley breakdown, baby. Penn State, 2015 to 2017, 3 years back, freshman, sophomore, junior year was his last year. That's the year we all noticed him. We were all hyped about him. He was a beast. Every sports center after Saturday, Saquon, 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 Saquon. Some of his achievements, he was the 2016 and 2017 Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. Big Ten's a great conference. I mean, we have Michigan, we have Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State, Wisconsin, some elite teams, and he's the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year 2 years in a row. That's impressive. Also in 2017, he was a consensus All-American. So everyone agreed this is the best running back in this league. So obviously, this guy's got the reputation, called he was beast mode, and the numbers prove it. So in his 3-year stint at Penn State, he averaged 17 touchdowns per season. But excluding his freshman season, where I think he only scored 8, he averaged 21.5 touchdowns a year his sophomore and junior year. That's ridiculous. Think of that on an NFL team. It's crazy what this guy can do. He produced massive numbers. He changed the game for Penn State. On a rampage at the combine too. He posted the highest score we saw at the 2017 combine with 7.45. That beats literally everyone. Anyone you saw in the draft or liked more, Saquon did better. So according to the Nike Spark X score, he ranks in the 99th percentile. So literally 99% of people in the league, he is more athletic than. 99%. Think of all the athletes we see come and go in the NFL. 99%. Guy's a beast. I want to explain the Spark score a little bit. It specifically stands for the speed, power, agility, reaction, and quickness test. So, literally, their combine. Nike does this report every year. It's kind of private, but thanks to Player Profiler, we're able to access that, and then they give a pretty good estimation of how athletic these players are. So it's kind of hard to judge Saquon on other college running backs, considering he's in a tough conference. He actually had to play sizable other teams that he couldn't just run over because they have excellent recruits coming to their college, specifically, hey, stop Saquon for us. That's what they came there to do. As far as other conferences, they don't really have the talent that Saquon faced. I was trying to look for Saquon's like rushing totals. They're impressive, but they're nothing compared to other players such as Rashad Penny. He plays in a smaller conference, therefore lesser competition. So as far as him breaking rushing totals, it's hard, but we can look at the quality of opponents and really see his true talent. So on to his NFL stint. He got paid. Our guy got paid without taking an NFL snap. He signed a 4-year, $31.2 million contract, fully guaranteed, without taking a single NFL snap. So obviously the Giants see something that we haven't yet, and of course they do. They see this guy every day. He's the 5th highest paid back already, but that means nothing until we see him actually take a snap, which we have. Preseason week 1 was just this previous week. It's starting back up week 2 in a couple days here. So Saquon took on the Cleveland Browns. It's preseason, so he didn't take that many snaps. He went 4 for 43, which included a 39-yarder. That's impressive. But a little stipulation to that. After that 39-yarder, he only averaged 1.33 yards per carry. So they kind of shut it down. It was literally the first play that he went for 39 yards. After that, the Browns defense, they were clapping cheeks on him. They didn't want him to rush for more. So maybe that's a little biased reaction after the 39-yarder. But we got to dig a little deeper to figure out the real stat. And snap count numbers. So someone on the internet, make them. Giants are slacking in that. Every other team has their snap count numbers except the Giants. So I'm assuming he was out there for most of the plays. After his big run, he did go for the sideline, and Jonathan Stewart took a pass and maybe one carry from Eli Manning. They were only out there for one drive, and then Saquon was done. That preseason game, everything was all cool. Everyone's hyped. But actually, Monday, August 13th, Saquon actually suffers a strained hamstring, which is actually kind of interesting, considering hamstrings are a serious injury for NFL players. He's reportedly okay. By that, we can assume it's a grade 1 hamstring pull, meaning it's sore. It could take up to, I believe, 3 days to 3 weeks to heal. So we should see 100% Saquon by week 1. But I don't know if we're going to see him the rest of the preseason. You don't want to lose your almost, behind no doubt, your focal point in your offense in the preseason. So don't be shocked if we don't see him again in the preseason. Only other injuries we can maybe notice or acknowledge is in 2015 and 2016, he had ankle injuries. Most of them he's able to come back one game after. Actually, one he didn't even miss a game. So this guy's pretty durable, but if those ankle injuries and or the hamstring act up during the season, we should have reason to be concerned. So, Cody, quit talking about Saquon. Should we draft him? I'm going to give you reasons why. So 2 years in a row, we've seen a rookie lead the league in rushing. 2016, Ezekiel Elliott. 2017, Kareem Hunt. These rookies are players. They're taking over the league. Some examples include Leonard Fournette, Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt, Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliott. These young guys are running laps around the older guys. So we see this whole thing where Saquon is the most hyped running back coming into the NFL, because we've seen 2 years in a row that these running backs are running laps around everyone. So we have reason to believe that Saquon, being the beast that he is, I mean, insert a picture of this man's calves and quads. Good Lord. How's that not? I no words can explain it. I understand the hype. Also, another reason why you should be taking Saquon is Giants want to preserve Eli Manning. They did take a quarterback, Kyle Luletta, in the NFL draft, but as of 2018, I don't think he'll be starting. They want to preserve Eli as much as they can. Example, New Orleans. New Orleans ran so much last year. Why? To protect Drew Brees. Because they believe Drew Brees can manage a game to take him to a championship, to win another championship. Another example is New England. Brady's getting older. He's still the GOAT. Still the GOAT. But the running backs are beasts. Why? Because they don't want Brady to get hurt. Put the workload on the running backs, and Brady can make plays. He's not going to get worn out doing everything. If you have a run game, so much pressure comes off the quarterback. And that might have been Eli's issue last year. They had no runners. Paul Perkins, Orlean Darkwa, Shane Vereen. What are you going to do with that? Like, It was all Eli last year. But we gotta hold up why you shouldn't draft Saquon. This part's for the Saquon haters, and some of it could be justified. As a fantasy owner, we have reasons to be scared. He's going as 7th overall in the first round. That's mighty high for a rookie. That's ahead of Ezekiel Elliott when he got drafted. He's going ahead of players like Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette, and sometimes even ahead of Alvin Kamara. Guys we've actually seen take regular season NFL snaps. Naturally, you can be scared of that, where we've actually never seen him take a regular season snap. I'm concerned about that, and personally, I don't know if I want to spend a 7th overall pick on him, someone I've never seen play, when we have other rookie backs that are going so many rounds below him and have a chance to do even better than Saquon year one. The kind of second reason why you should be a little cautious of Saquon Barkley. Cut that. Saquon Barkley is he's got a piss poor O-line. It finished as Pro Football Focus's 26th best O-line in 2017 and only come in at the 25th best O-line in 2018. We'll see what will happen. We should have reason to assume they'll be better. They brought in tackle Nate Solder, who was a beast in New England, but yet again, that's New England. We'll see if that translates to the New York Giants. And they also drafted guard Will Hernandez, 2nd round. He's out of UTEP, so small college. They faced decently big names, but yet again, not the top talent as far as college football. So that's my take on Saquon. Generally, off of the statistics, I would say it's a positive report. Only concern I have is the offensive line, and his ADP is a little high for my liking. That's just in my opinion. If you want to take that 2 years in a row of a rushing title to a rookie into mine, then it's kind of like a no-doubter. Ezekiel Elliott was a beast, and he only played 15 games in that 2016 rushing title. Kareem Hunt, he stalled during the middle of the year. Kind of the fault of the stalling Kansas City Chiefs. So these guys have potential out the wazoo. But it's not for me to decide what you guys want to do. Leave a comment. Are you drafting him? Are you not? Maybe even auction. How much are you taking him for? Are you willing to spend $70 for him in a standard PPR league? So drop your comments. I'm new to this. Add any advice. I appreciate every view I get. So if you made it to the end of this, thank you. Leave a comment. I'll reply to anything. If you want to say, your room's messy, which you can't really see my room, I'd be like, thanks, man. I'll clean my room. Well, my guys, my boys, my gals, everybody leave a comment. Maybe you can tell me how to put your MacBook on silent while recording. I don't know, but you might hear a ding. But yet again, thank you, everyone. Stay sharp. Stay cognizant of what you're doing, what you're drafting, and check it out. Balling and gaming. Not gaming yet, but maybe someday. Thanks for watching. Peace.